Or is that you changed your channel name? I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm here. I woke up late today. I had a migraine yesterday. And I'm just getting going. So the question I'm going to start with is why we hide our shadow selves, the devil within. Why do we hide this? And I'm going to ask the Light Seer Tarot about that question. The Light Seer Tarot is, for me, a deck that always is very good at, welcome Angie, illuminating all the bad news in my life. We all have shadow selves. We all have the devil within. I don't generally like this tarot deck because of how thick the cards are. All the cards jump out all the time. I wish they would make a form of this tarot deck with thinner cards. Maria, welcome, beautiful. How are you today? I'm recovering from a migraine that I had yesterday, and I just sort of... These cards have popped out more than once already. I guess since they popped out like twice, but they're kind of like a big grouping. I still don't trust it because they were just sort of why? Why do we do it? It leads in a... Why do we even have these shadow selves? Why? The King of Cups. You got your little boat out there in space. Oh, don't worry about it. Maria, I'm not seeking attention or sorries or anything about it. We all have chronic conditions, and migraines is something that I have a chronic condition of, and so I have less migraines now than I did 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was having migraines every single day of the week. Now it's like maybe one or two migraines a week. My sister has them. It's something that comes in my family. Almost everybody on my dad's side of the family had migraines. So I don't when I say I've had a migraine, I'm not seeking sympathies or sorries or anything like that. It's just it just is. It just is. It's something that just is. And that's just that. They just sort of interrupt my life. The migraines interrupt my lives. Well, I'm gonna dive through the manual here on this. I might normally use I don't think it's pixelated. So you used to get them too, and your mother would get them. Yeah, exactly. King of Cups. So one of the reasons why, I don't know what that means in this sense. I'm guessing is because you want to present a certain image to the world. the reason why you hide your dark side is you're presenting a particular image to the world of one, and you want to put your best foot forward, not your worst foot forward. And then this Seven of Wands of and then being you're presenting a certain point of view to the world, and you don't want to have to defend yourself from whatever accusations you might get from people. So you put this big front up first, just to hide the fact that inside you just don't, you're being, you feel you don't want, you don't want to be attacked. And then because inside there's this the energy is unfocused, and because of that it leads to some form of a death within your soul, death or rebirth. But this is the hiding of that. It leads into darkness. That's kind of what I get. Why you hide? Because it leads to a darkness, but it's you put a good front up. I think that's what these cards are telling me. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay. You never know if somebody's being sick. Well, that migraine I had was triggered by two things. One, I didn't. Well, the biggest trigger for me in migraines is that um, if I am still awake when the sun comes up, the likelihood of me having a migraine is really, really high. So did anybody have a question? I don't really, I love the images in this tarot deck, but I just can't handle how thick the damn cards are. It really, it's hard. They're very unwieldy. I think I'm going to move this tarot deck into being my personal tarot deck, and I'm not going to be using this on, not in this setting. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll use this tarot deck, but let's just go use the card. I'm going to ask mine. That's how it starts. You never know when someone around is being sick. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Friday is actually a very typical time for a person to get a migraine because it's at the end of your work week. Because I always used to always get them. Well, in my 30s, I'd get them at the end of my work week, early 40s. Yeah, I'm gonna ask my crosswords oracle about this question of why do we hide ourselves? Why do we hide our shadow selves? I want to see what is the energy behind that. I'm going to probably come back on tonight too. I wanted to come on earlier, but I'm trying different times of the day. Different times of the day here. We'll just go move on to another canned question. So, a why. Some words here. Tarnish. Tarnish. Gain. Unable. Maybe the reason we hide ourselves is we wouldn't be able to function in society. Get to hang out more. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to come on tonight. I can't come on for too long because I always get up early on Sundays. So I'll probably try to get on. I'm going to try and come on at 11 something p.m. And then I'll just make it midnight till like 2 a.m. for tonight. So maybe the why we hide ourselves is that we are trying to gain something from others or gain something from the world. Otherwise, we would not be able to function in the world that if it was in a complete transparent state. You know, you because you're tarnished. You're as a being, we are tarnished, and we need to have a sense that you remake the reality around yourself in order to gain an advantage. And it comes out of the spirit of continually creating yourself, but you're continuing to recreate yourself. And so it's like a superpower that human beings have, is they can continue to recreate themselves because you go out into the world with a mask on, and a mask on to hide how it is that you're tarnished. Maybe that works. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense at all. I think we'll move on to a different question. Okay, all right. The question is, and then I'm asking this question on behalf of somebody else. And the question is, this is from someone I know. Will my spouse abandon me? ABANDO, abandon me after the bankruptcy. So in this person's life, there is an impending bankruptcy, and they want to know if their spouse will leave them once the bankruptcy paperwork has settled. And that's the question we're going to read on. So that's why you never married, because people hide who they are, and all that stuff just comes out. Most of that stuff comes out when you live in close proximity with others. The dark sides come out. My father had a temper problem, which my mother didn't know about until the honeymoon. That's when the temper problem came out. And yeah, we're gonna just clear the air here and ask this new question. I wonder if this rock resonates. I suspect that this... Okay. This is my rock from Istanbul. Okay. I'm going to do a 3-card yes/no. We will find out what the energy is behind this thing. So the question being is, will the spouse abandon the other partner after the bankruptcy goes through? Sometimes marriages aren't made on love. So in this sense, it looks like it's no. Because there's a sense of always needing to defend yourself. And an inability to change. And the other is a lacking of skills. So this is kind of interesting. I was expecting it to be a yes. I was expecting it to be a yes, but the first question being, first is abandon. The first question being, will spouse abandon? Will the other after the bankruptcy? And that was a no. And we're looking at 7 plus 6 plus 8. And 14, 15, 21. So it's a 3. But the 3 is this way because of a lack of creativity. And the reason, the overall energy behind that is a lack of creativity. Now, let's ask another question here is, Josh, welcome. So the other question is, in this sense, is why does my spouse bully me? Okay, I'm just going to clear the air and I'm going to ask that question. A new set of cards, new cards, or new pull. Why does my spouse bully me? It's the same spouse. There's just a hope that they will leave. Maybe the reason that they're not going to leave is because there's no one, they need this other spouse. Well, actually, okay, why does, I'm going to just clear the air on this one. This brush doesn't work as a good bell ringer. Yeah. Well, that's what I chose today. Just one person in the boat. I guess I could switch it out to this other one here, where there's 2 people in the boat. But anyways, so why does my spouse bully me? And so let's just ask the question. And this time I'm gonna, in the quiet of my brain, I'm putting the names of the people involved. I'm not advertising the names out here because one of the persons do not want to be public. They're very private peoples, and so anyways, it's none none of anyone's business who the actual people are, but they are real people. I can assure you that. And so I'm going to. So let's just kind of get at the why of it. There's just like a movement there. Interesting. So why does one spouse bully the other? Well, for the spouse that does the bullying, it's all about control. It's about driving the team forward. It's about having asserting control over another. It's just this tightly in that there's a it's just holding tight to what you have, and what you have is this control over the other person. And so that bullying is is um, a tool that you want to keep a hold of, and so it's something that has worked for you to get what you want. But it's that's why. So the lynch here, the main reason why one spouse bullies the other is this, in this sense of hanging on to what you have, the skills that you have, and these skills um inside there's a sense of instability, but they have to willfully drive forward, willfully driving forward in order to try to get what it is that you want. And you use violence, and you use aggression, you use these you use your dark side in order to get what you want. So that's kind of the why, what I see in the cards, the why of it. And your numerological energy that is here is that of 7, 11, 13, 4. So it is about some kind of a foundation. It is the whys of it is foundational. So it is a foundational issue, a foundational skill. A foundational skill, sort of that about manipulation, and that's kind of that. But let's go take a look at what is the what's the vibe of bullying? If you're still there, Josh, do you have a question that you'd like to ask? So the whys of it here is of anger. It's based in anger and disrespect, but also what exists in here is that this individual has never really explored their talents. Their talents just lay dormant within them. And in the sense that, why can I never have what I want? I've always wanted something. And then, why can't I have it? And so instead of going out and getting it, they sort of bully the person who does have capped talents. An angry, jealous, and sort of, and it comes from a spirit of being salty or petty, angry. Then also being completely disrespectful of other people's values, their values, and so forth. That's kind of what I see here. Let's see. What other kinds of... Is there any other questions, or are we done here today? Maybe I'll have a sip of coffee here. So what would be the other question? The other question to ask in this sense, there is another question here. I'm going to ask, this is a question that's coming from me, and we're looking at a third question is, and the phrase I'm going to be used here is locked, Dogeth, locked together in hatred. In hatred. I've often felt that this relationship is one in where they were locked together in hatred. And why I say that, because you know, if you'd ever seen... All right, we will ask that question then. Okay, let's clear the air out. And we'll, a question from Maria. Should I stay or should I go? Let's use a heavier brush than that one. Oh, you know what? This tuning fork always made a good striker here. So, Maria. You know, if you could afford it, you would probably you would be happier living in your own house that you owned. But that's kind of property ownership is a requires a hell of a lot of money to own your own home. But all right, I'm going to ask this question. Yeah, well, it was exactly what I was thinking too. Should I stay or should I go? So, Maria seeks the truth here. Should she stay? Would she be happier in a new apartment? Would she be happier living in another place? Would Maria be happier living in a new apartment? 3-card yes, no. Would Maria be happier living in a new apartment? Well, the answer to that question is no. It's a real strong no because mainly, mainly is because if you're not happy now, you won't be happy there then either, because that that happiness about the place, it first begins with being satisfied with what you have. And if you come into a place where what you have is satisfactory to you, it is good enough, then you can more adequately make that decision as if going someplace else will be better. That's kind of what I've got here from this. And it may be that a move like this might be, and maybe that's the wrong question, Maria, because will you be happier or not living in a new place? Is the other place, you have to, when you're in doing, in this sense, I think you'd, and let's just kind of look at what the energy here is. We're looking at 11 plus 13 plus 8, and 24, 32, so it's a 5. So you're looking at change, challenge, and freedom. But in this sense, you're being challenged. You need to have to. You're being challenged. You need to look at this spirit and challenge yourself to the question of why, and asking yourself why. Why do you think that going someplace else make will make you happier? Now there are some factors. There are some factors in making moves that people make moves. Now, if there is substance abuse, sometimes people do have to make a move in order to get away from the peoples around them that keep sucking them back in. But that wasn't your question. Would you be happier living in a new apartment? You may be needing to again weigh the pros and cons of your current place. Because one of the things that, let's say you do move, and what happens if everything about your new place is no different than your current place? Because it just may be that you move someplace else and then the rent goes up and you have less money. You move someplace else and then you find out that there's like bed bugs in the wall, or and then you have even a worse problem. There's like some insects that are intruding into your life that make your life unbearable, or there's a rodent problem, and you have and you're always having to fight with, like, you're having to fight with nature and things that are rather unpleasant. Rodents, you might move and there might be rodents or bugs, bugs, or they you might end up having to pay. You might pay more. You may have to pay more, and then that these things can all hamper your freedom. And paying more means you have less freedom. These things can lead to, rodents and bugs can lead to illness. And then it's just this constant, and also, the constantly having to battle with things like battle with the bugs can really affect your mental health. Rodents, and there again, mice. If you go someplace and it's just full of mice, and you're always having to like spend money on either to spend money on traps, or you have to, or the landlord has to come through and bomb the place out with chemicals all the time, and that being around all those chemicals, that can affect your mental health. So that these are the things that the new place may, the hidden things, the things that are hidden. These are the devils within, because there may be in where being to the theme of today of, on an individual level, we hide ourselves from the rest of the world. We hide those things that are the tarnishes and so forth, in the same sense that when you go looking for new shiny objects, well, they on the surface they look good, but once you get into it, you see that it's always it's just on the surface. It's beyond the surface. It's broke down, and it's breaking down, and it's falling apart. And that's kind of the issue that I see here. But I don't know if that makes any sense, but maybe we'll try it as a would you be happier living in a new apartment? And so it says the spirit is challenging you to stay put, in order to find another way to. Spirit is challenging you to find your own happiness. So maybe we're going to ask the question is, how do I gain, how do I become happy with what I have? How do I gain happiness in current apartment? Okay. How do I gain happiness in current apartment? I'm going to first go in and pull a page number out for this. And we'll go and do bibliomancy first on this and get a page number. $13. So 13. One, 3, 6. 1362. 1362. 4, 10, 11, 12, and 3. So the overall number that's expressed here is a number 3, about creative expression, being able to express yourself in your living space in a more creative way, that can help you to gain some happiness And so maybe it's a situation where you can't decorate your apartment the way you want to decorate it. And so how do you decorate your apartment in a way that will change your living space? And so one of the things you can do is you working within the means of where you are at, that you express your creativity in your living area to the degree that is possible within the rules. Now, maybe you want to repaint, maybe you want a different. Then you have to go and ask the landlord if you can repaint your place and paint it differently. And maybe it's just a case that you paint it the color you want it, but then you when it's done and over with, when you do eventually move, maybe you have to paint it back, so to whatever color the landlord thinks it should be. So 1362, how to gain happiness in your current space. See, I need a word here. Interesting. So what this page says is that it is not about it's about happiness, it's about being, not doing. It's all about being. Being is being, not doing. So it's changing your state of being in how you view. And so this is how do you gain happiness? It's really about being. And how do you be yourself in in your current place that you're living in? How do you be yourself? How do you achieve a state of mind where you're just being you? And so that would be through self-reflection. Did I get a number there? 5. So it's all about challenging yourself and being challenged to stay where you're at. And this is all about it's a mental balance. You're going to gain both change and freedom by through this challenge. Through the challenge to stay put and learn how to be you. Learn how to be you. So, what is blocking you from being you? So what is blocking you? What is blocking you from being happy? So what is blocking you from being happy? It's the blocks in there is in a sense of needing, you need to manifest. It's manifesting balance. Manifesting balance. Sort of rebalancing yourself. The whole kind of the spirit that is here and then when you can rebalance and rebalancing yourself, your light and your darkness, the reasons, the dualities that exist within yourself, manifesting balance. And what are some words that might so some things that might be blocking you is some trust issues, trust, your dreams, dream, and then being cold, a spirit of coldness. You know, your dreams are getting in your way. Maybe they're nightmares, but feeling a lack of trust that what is sitting at why are you not happy here? Well, maybe you have some trust issues with other people who are existing there. And so working through your trust issues. But then we have this sense of this dreaming. You're dreaming for something else. And with this hope that this something else will be better than what you got. I don't know if that makes any sense. But this is, a very typical state. Everybody dreams that their lives would be better in some other state, in other states. So trust issues, too many dreams that are unfulfilled. Do you live in a duplex? You're renting, yes. On the edge of tomorrow. The dream on the edge of tomorrow. I don't know. Does any of this make any sense, Maria? MV said hi. Welcome, MV. Welcome, Elizabeth. How come I can't see any more chats on here? But in the other area, I am. It's like it's stuck here. So that makes sense. Okay. Good. Good. You're welcome. All right. Well, Elizabeth, I'm just sort of sitting here I'm trying to do this at different. You're welcome, and thank you for allowing me to read for you, Maria. I'm just working on, I'm answering questions. Trying to, anyway. Huh. Well, this is very fascinating. Well, that might be what it is. The internet is slow. So, what it is that the internet is slow. It's been acting up. I think it's that no one is. Yes, I was actually sleeping. Okay, so what I had the heat triggered a migraine yesterday, so when I went into town, it was the heat and the lack of sleep that I had. I went to town yesterday, take mom to a doctor appointment. When I came home, I could just feel the migraine coming on. I don't remember having any of the headache pain at all. I just had the other symptoms like the massive amounts of tension in the back of my neck, and my eyes were all buggy, and I had just a lack of concentration. So I would not have been. You know what? As I said to Maria earlier, I'm not really looking for sorries or anything like that because migraines is a chronic issue in my life, and so I use Imitrex. That's what I use. I use pharmaceuticals to combat the symptoms, and so Maria fell asleep around 7 in the morning. So what happened essentially is that I fell asleep. I took my meds. I took that Imitrex. Then I ended up falling asleep on the couch, and I tried to get up, but I ended up, at 4 I was like trying to wake up so I could like clean the kitchen up. But then I actually ended up sleeping on the couch until the sun came up, and um, then I cleaned the kitchen up and uh, and did that kind of stuff, and then I fell back to sleep, and so then I woke up at uh, essentially 30 minutes before this live was scheduled. A cheap diffuser. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. You use peppermint oil. Huh. That's actually so interesting that on my camera here, the uh, the chats and everything stopped quite a ways back. But I got this other device, which is good. I can see the chat this way, and yeah. See, it's just there it is. We'll just move it over there. Anyways, well, we'll just see. Do some shuffling here and. I actually haven't eaten anything yet today. I've had 3 cups of espresso, a little bit of water. I did have some vitamins, but no food. But that's kind of typical me. Well, yeah, I know. I do a lot of fasting though. It's um at this hour I might as well just wait till dinner time. Mixing peppermint with lavender, but the problem is that peppermint is that like so when you is that something I gotta smell, Maria, or is that something I like take peppermint and make peppermint tea and mix it with lavender? What do you mean by that? I know that peppermint gives me acid reflux pretty bad. Okay, you smell it. Jeez, I don't know if I can handle that smell. Huh. Well, I'm actually growing mint out in my backyard. I'm growing mint. I could, but see, mint to me tastes like dirt. With Puerto Rican way with Vicks Vapor Rub. I have some Vicks Vapor Rub. So you do the Puerto Rican way. Use some Vicks Vapor Rub and oh yeah, I like that. Look at that, Vicks. Can you smell that? Let's kind of put that up there. Give it a good old smell. Oh boy. Get a good old sniffing smell. All right. All right. All right. All right. We got that, huh? Okay. Look, it stopped at 1. Like we need a new beginning. You know what, Elizabeth? These are your cards. These are your cards that I made for you. And this is the box that it's going to be going in. So the box that I'm going to be making is now a blank slate. And so that is the next thing I got to do, and actually making the box, Elizabeth, is the hardest part. Putting the cards together is easy. The box is the hard part because it's the because like when I made Selena's box, that took quite a bit of it took that took a bit of time. Actually, I spent in the construction process, I spent a good 2 weeks. Yeah, and I have a project that I do. I will create that video because when did Selena's box, I actually I didn't construct the box on camera because it'd been a while since I'd made a box, and I didn't want the pressure of having to perform. So I did it. I did the design without that. And now with this, I actually don't have a box for myself, but I will be making your box. And I did the video, the After Effects. I realize now that the music I used just drove me up the wall. I think I'm almost feeling like I want to pull that video and just re-upload it. But I need to learn how to use that AI music generator that YouTube has, you know, I don't know. So you're working on a video now too. I'm not actually. I don't really do too many videos anymore, but because it just takes so much time to do that editing, or when you're editing on the phone. Now I got like that Vicks smell right on my lip. But anyways, you like the process. I liked the process when I was doing it on a computer, but I don't particularly like the process of video editing on a phone. Yeah, well, Elizabeth, I've been going live between this channel and the other channel probably multiple times a day. I didn't go live at all yesterday, but I'm gonna probably go live 2 more times today. Once more with this channel, and then with 999 show, and I'm having Julianne Guthrie on Tuesday. I need to go look at her channel and see what I'm gonna do, and yeah. I didn't kiss it. It just the fumes, Maria, got stuck on my lip there, and so I'm feeling it burn my upper lip a bit. I need some more coffee, actually. All right. Well, I'm gonna I think I'm gonna put this stuff away, and I'm gonna pull that real life tarot deck out. Well, Elizabeth, I think that you need to come on this channel and stream with me sometime. Because I really enjoyed when I streamed on your channel, but you got too you overextended yourself, and then if you overextend yourself, then you're going to end up abandoning your channel, like how Roots and Waves abandoned her channel. Roots and Waves, she reminded me a lot of some people that I know who agreed to say yes to everything, and then next thing you know, you end up burning yourself out, and then you have to leave and back off of everything. And so that's the danger of saying yes to everybody. Yeah, maybe we can, maybe I'm gonna go to the beach once this week. I don't know when. Actually, probably Wednesday. And then, other than Wednesday, I'm gonna be available. Available almost every. Well, and then the live that I'm gonna be doing with Julianne on Tuesday. Yeah. All right, we're going to put these away. And I'm going to just do some real life tarot thing here for a bit. That's your anniversary month, yeah? Yeah, well, maybe we will. That's good. We'll just could have put these things away back in their boxes. So how long have you been on the YouTubes there? I'm gonna pull this deck out. 4 years on YouTube. You know, I'm going into my 4th year on this on uh, uh for the 999 show coming up soon. And so I'm completed in September 9th. I complete the 3rd year of being on this channel, and I'm going into my 4th year. So is that? Yeah. Well, that's great. Actually that's a compliment that you are still here even after the 4 years. So with 24 subs, yeah. Well, you know what? Let's just spin. Let's just spin. Would somebody like to propose a question? I don't know. I think I subbed to your channel, Maria. I do remember doing that. So, all right. I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna go into Reddit and see if I can pull a question off of. Yeah, Maria has a channel. She has like 3 shorts on her channel. I'm gonna go into Reddit and I'm gonna grab a question. I haven't read from Reddit for a while. Okay, let's go out of here. There's nothing risque. I don't want anything. All right, we're gonna go look at. I need a question. Okay. So here's the subreddit. It's Am I Overacting? I don't really want to read. I'm just showing that it's there. But I'm going to just go into that subreddit and I'm going to go back. I'm going to probably try to go back a while, like a year or so that I'm going to go back about a year in order to, so that the energy of that person on the question is cold. And I just want to read the question, not the person. So I'm just whipping it back. I'm going to go back into time. Am I overacting? And we're going to find a question in here. I want to go back, find some random question in the past. So we're not, that's about a month ago. I don't think I'm going to be able to go back a year, but I think I can go back a ways. No, come on. It doesn't go back any further. How about we look at relations? No. We're not going to look at. I just want to look at the question. We want to read the energy of the question and not the person. That's the main thing, because we don't want to fall into a sense of making fun of somebody at somebody else's expense, and that's not. I just want to go here. Let's go back and find something randomly. This has got some effed up stuff in here. No. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct a question out of this. Let's just go back. Can I go back further? Because people are just posting on this stuff like 1,000 questions a day. Hmm. I'm just going to construct a question. Wow, these are some really deep questions. They're pretty heavy. I don't know. Jesus. I guess all this stuff happens, doesn't it? All this stuff happens here? I mean, what's the question? Am I overacting, or does this feel like my boyfriend slept with his boss? No, we can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Okay. Um, it's like it just ends. I can't go back any further. Okay, I don't care. We're just gonna make some question up. Okay, you got a question? All right, great, great. MV. All right. If you're still there, MV, I want to. You can ask your question. So, what is your question, MV? Oh, that's RMV. Oh, RMV. I didn't even see that. RMV. Or did I lose you? All right, Maria, we'll see you later. All right, well, just get your question, and I'll answer your question. You'll probably be the last person here for today. Okay, well, all right, well, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. There's some really effed up stuff on Reddit. So, RMV, formulate your question. That's interesting. This is fun. What's the story here? What is the story here? So the story here is the game of chance led to a surprise, like a bomb on your brain, and the result was a ghost came into your life. Oh, yeah, I know. Elizabeth, She did say she had to get back at it, back to work. Is RMV still in the room? Hmm. On this device, the one I'm filming on, oh, you know what, RMV? Big winners, huh? I will see. Are some of them big winners? Probably, if I were to just answer the question, I would probably say that there's probably not. But let's just see if if we can get a different result than other than what the logical result is. Are some of okay. Unscratched scratchers. Are any of them big winners? Hmm. What? How do you classify a big winner? Is so RMV is a big winner a free ticket? Is getting your money back on one ticket, is that a big winner, or is it like, is a big winner like $5? Is it $10? Is it $100 win? Or because in lottery space, yeah, it's probably not. So RMV, you can probably answer that. To find out if there are $1,000 or more winners out there, you can actually go onto your lottery website um, to see if there are any of those big winners left out there. Because in the realm of scratch tickets, that data is actually available. Huh. Wow. You buy food with that? Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay. Okay. Big winners. We're gonna see here. Even though I already know what the answer to this question is, RMV, I know what the answer to this question is. Because when you asked it, I already, the answer came right into my head. And are there any big winners in this? But, okay. All right, I'm going to clear the air first. So RMV, what state are you in? Because do you want me to draw you some like some Powerball or some numbers for your state? You're in California. Oh yeah, because California's lottery is set up is that it's like you are. I've looked up the California lottery for your your state lottery, and I think it's like your chances of winning that are even slimmer than your chances of winning like the Powerball or the Megabucks. Okay, all right. Let's just clear the air here. I want to clear the spirit out of the air. All right. Let's bring our attention to RMV. RMV has a big pile of unscratched lottery tickets. RMV wants to know if there are any big winners in that pile. RMV wants to know if there are any winners in that, any big winners in that pile. Okay. It's a 3-card yes, no. So the answer to your question is no. There aren't any big winners in it. It kind of started out promising. But we're going to ask the question again because I want to see if let's go 2 out of 3 here. So the first answering of it, asking of the question, turned out to be no, and so let's look at 5. It's like 5. So we're looking at sort of a reversed 5. Let's go 2 out of 3 and see. I'm going to go 3-card yes, no's, 2 out of 3. And then when we're all done with this RMV, I'm gonna draw for the California State Lottery for you for some potential numbers to play. But I'm gonna need to look that up first, and then I'll get you some numbers here to see what the numerical range is. Are there any big winners in that pile? Maybe. The second one, the second drawing on that is a maybe. So I think it's going to be, there's some winners in it anyway. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2. Even number. Well, there are definitely winners in that pile. Now, are they big winners? We'll just see. The third one, 2 out of 3. Add those numbers together, and we'll see what the... Let's see. 2 out of 3. 3 card, yes, no. You know, you just may have 2, 4, 11, 15. You know, RMV, there just might be some big winners in there. 11, 12, 13 is 4. The overall value of that is an even number, and so that's kind of like a, it looks promising. It's very promising, RMV. There might be a winner in there. I need to find my my lottery numbers, my lottery ticket. Is that here? I think these are here. We're looking at California lottery. So maybe. All right, I on my camera phone that I'm filming this in, I don't have access to the chat. I'm gonna pop out of here for a second, and then we are going to. I'm gonna pop out of here and go look up California State Lottery. I'm gonna look up California State Lottery. I want to see. It must be Super Lottery Plus. That's probably your state lottery thing. Today, there's a drawing today at 7:45. So do you make, on your channel, RMV, do you do lottery scratch tickets on your channel? I want to go in and see what when it goes to this is Super Lottery. Okay, draw results. What is the range? How to play? Okay, here we go. How to play. So it's 5 numbers between 1 and 47. 1 through 47, and then it's 1 number between 1 and 27. Okay. We'll do some Mega Millions and Powerball numbers then. Okay. I can do that. These numbers here add in there, so if you play Keno, All right, let's do this thing. I like this because I'll have all these numbers in here. So this is for lottery. This is for Mega Millions and Powerball. Powerball. And then the California State Lottery. We'll do Mega Millions and Powerball first. And then we'll come over here and do this one next. All right. RMV, if you're still there, please tell me when to stop shuffling. Tell me when to stop shuffling. There's a delay, and so tell me when to stop shuffling. I want to randomize these numbers pretty good. If you're still there, if you're not still there, then I will stop whenever. You know, when numbers pop out, I consider we got to play those numbers. These numbers popped out. All right, that is 45, 46, 40. Look at that. They're all in a row. Interesting. 7. I suppose you can play these interchangeably in between either of the games. I would consider it that way. Let's get a Mega Ball and a Powerball number. So we're just drawing for both of these lotteries. I'm going to put those back. Mega Ball 24. All right. Mega Millions. Oh, 7. 40. 7. 40. 45. 46. 47. And a... I don't have a lot of space here, so I'm going to get another card. All right. Let's draw another set. Okay, this is for Powerball, but you could probably use it for Mega Millions too. Huh. Interesting. Looks like I need one more number. One more number. It's this one here. All right. 22. All right, so we're looking at another set of numbers to try for today. 0, 2, 12, 22, 24, 28. So we have 2, 12, 22, 24, 28, and that mega ball of 17. Where did I put that one at? I put it away. Powerball of 17. All right. That's that. I will draw for the California State Lottery. It's a lot of twos. Yeah. I would play them both, but let's just go through, and for your state, you have that one goes there. It goes up to 47. California State Lottery goes up to 47. You know, there was a channel from California that I watched for religiously that did lottery. Thomas, they since have stopped it. I think they went broke. It goes up to 47. Let me just double check through this pile to make sure they couldn't afford to pay out. Yeah, it was Gatto, Jonas Gatto, and then his son. Yeah, I love their channel. I mean, I think they were the guy whose channel it was. I mean, the guy was like essentially like my age, maybe 1 or 2 years older. Yeah, I think I followed them for God, like for a few years actually, since like 2019 or 2020. And then they started going to doing like casino gambling. And I think the casino gambling is where they ended up losing their shirt. Yeah. And this one, it goes up to 1 through 47 and 1 through 27. I only have 26 numbers here. So I got to go and put a 27th number in there to make sure that we get that. And so your California State Lottery. Hmm. If it's like Oregon State Lottery, they have two lines of numbers, and so I'll do two lines of numbers here. Hmm. All right, California State. These are random numbers for the California State Lottery here. Hmm. Now these cards, I can't riffle shuffle them, but I can do. There's the first card that popped out, the number 11. 3, 4, 5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to draw the 5, and then I'm going to do it twice. And then I'm going to draw the super balls. We'll draw the main numbers first, and then the super balls next. So we're looking at 6, 7, 10, 11, 41. Let's do this again. All right, so what is it getting to be like 2:30 here? Yeah, I really miss that other channel. And I think they lived in that Palisades area too. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. No, I don't know. I don't think they did. All right, let's get 6 numbers. Numbers for the California State Lottery. That number 41's coming up twice now. These numbers come out. Okay. Well, that's a lot of consecutive numbers. That's really interesting. $21, $23, $26, $27, $41. All right. Let's get those, that's 6 number. First one that came out is the number 1. So when I've done, and then the other one that comes out was 27. I'm going to rewrite those so y'all can see. So what we're looking at for the California State Lottery, we're looking at 2 sets of numbers. We're looking at 6, 7, 10, 11, 41, and 1. And then another set of numbers to try, 21, 23, 26, 27, 41, and 27. All right. There's the show for the day. All right. I'll do another one. We'll do a different different clarification on the scratchers. We're going to use the spinners then. All right. We'll win on lottery scratchers. I'm just going to say win. Not really clarifying, doing the clarifying on the win. That's a little bit more vague. Win. All right. We're going to do, in this, we're going to be shuffling for odd and even numbers. An odd number is A no, an even number is a yes. Odd, no, even, yes. Will RMV win big playing the scratchers? Odd number is no, even number is yes. Well, you know, it's really coming up yes, man. You're going to win. You're going to win something. Now you're going to win big. Will RMV win big? Will he win big? Someday. Will he get a big win? Kind of wants to stop at this number, 22, which is another even number. So I think eventually, RMV, you're going to win big eventually. Now, whether are you going to win big in that pile, I'm not so sure. So I can't really answer that question because I would have answered the question like no. That's how I would have answered the question, but I don't know. I'm going to try let's just use this other tarot deck and see for a 3-card yes, no. So, will he win big? Will he win big? 3-card yes, no. Yeah, you better play those 2s, man. Then a lot of 2s are popping up. Here's another card just popped out. This is a yes. It's a soft yes. It's not a hard yes. It's a soft yes. Was the overall number equal to 8? 8 plus 9, 8 plus 8, 16, 17, 7, yeah. Yeah, 8. So yes, RMV, it looks like you may have a winner in there. So, you know, you really should scratch those tickets to see if there, how many winners are in there. You may have, get your money back on it. And, come back and report back to see what the results are. You know, I definitely go after random numbers. I had numbers in a dream pop up once, and I played the lottery, and I won $150 in the Washington State lottery from a number that popped up in a dream. It was a phone number. It was an active phone number, and I wrote the number down, and then I searched through the databases of places looking for that phone number. Couldn't find it. Anyways, I've been on for 2 hours, and okay, well, we'll ask for an over $1,000 winner. That'll be the last question. More than $1,000. I'm going to re-clear the air out, and we'll see. All right. Okay, Spirit. RMV wants to know if he will win greater than $1,000. Will he win greater than $1,000? All right. All right, 3 card, yes, no. Will RMV win greater than 1,000? Will RMV win greater than 1,000? If you're there, RMV, please tell me when to stop shuffling. Tell me when to stop shuffling. Tell me when to stop shuffling. Okay. All right. They won't talk that way. Okay. There's one of them. First one popped out. All right, a whole bunch of cards popped out. All right, well, majority of the cards that popped out were upright, so that makes it a yes in that sense. 3 card, yes, no. That one there, that's looks at a yes. But let's just go and add up all the numbers there and see what this says. So we got 11. And these, maybe they have greater weight because they're the major arcana. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 14. Okay. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 47. 47 is an odd number, so that's kind of a no, but it reduces down to 4 plus 7 is, so this number is a no, but the reduction is 11 reduces down to the number 2. So you know, it's really inconclusive. I'm giving this an inconclusiveness. So the overall numbers here reduced to yes. So it can be a yes, but it looks like it's a big old maybe. It looks like it's a big maybe. And I'm going to try it again. And this time we're not going to wait for cards to pop out. We will shuffle. I'm going to do 3 shuffles. I'm going to shuffle 3 times and take the first 3 cards off the top. 3 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Let's cut the deck. Another cut. I'm going to mix these up a little bit better here. We have a bunch of 2s that came out today. This is part of my shuffling, mixing them up here a bit. Okay. You have a lot of 2s that came out, you're right. And then here's my last riffle shuffle coming up. I'm going to cut the deck. 1, 2, 3. And let's see what it says. So in this one it says no. The 3 card yes, no, and that's a no. Will you win greater than $1,000? It looks like a no, but I think it's inconclusive. Let's just take a look at the overall number of this thing, of these 3. We're looking at 6 plus 8 is 14, 1 plus 5, so that's an odd number. 6 plus 8, 14, and 14 reduces. 14 is yes, but 5 is odd. So it's a it's like a yes and no. I think that it's very inconclusive. But you will find out. You're going to soon find out, aren't you? All right, man. I'm gonna call it a day. I need to go outside and do some things. Have a little snack before I start making dinner. Yeah. You're welcome. This one here is just, this is just yes. It's just giving all right, thank you very much. We look at 6, 11, 17, 27. Yeah, I know. It's very it's. I think RMB. I think it's possible. I think it's possible that you have a big win in that pile, or it may be possible that eventually you're gonna win big playing the lottery. I think that's what I get, is that eventually that's gonna happen. All right. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to thank all of you all for being here. And thank you, RMV, because this was fun. Since the lottery is like one of those things that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a huge lottery player myself. And we're going to turn that candle off. I'm going to turn my lights off. Not yet. But anyways, thank you all. Thank you, RMV, Maria, Elizabeth. I think that's everybody who came in today. And we'll see you the next time. I'll see you the next time. All right. Bye-bye.